Hello everybody and welcome to Moonring! Now this is one that got recommended to me a couple of times and I completely missed its existence and I've since gone back and found it. And so it's been out for a little bit, and by a little bit I mean like a couple of days. Moonring is a successor to the original Ultima, and I guess more Ultima 4 specifically. It is a open world RPG, open zone RPG, with randomly generated dungeons. Now, it's an RPG because it doesn't have your roguelike elements, although it will play like a roguelike. So if you're familiar with games like ADOM or stuff more of that ilk, you'll feel quite at home here, even though this is an RPG. And the reason I describe it as an RPG is when you die, it teleports you to the last checkpoint or the most recent save location, and there is no permadeath in this game. So keep that in mind. This is a RPG at its core, with randomly generated dungeons. Now, when you die in a dungeon, you're teleported back to the beginning of the dungeon, and the dungeon is regenerated for you. This is my second character. I've got one that I got a little bit further on, but unfortunately, you can only have one save at a time, and so when I went about making this video, I was like, well, I'll play a little bit of a new character and then show you guys the old one, but it only gave me the option to delete it. So I guess for this video, we're going to be going with a new character. Now, this game was made by Fluttermind, to quote from their Mastodon posts, Moonring is my free Ultima 4 style retro RPG, now out on Steam. I hope you enjoy Calandra as much as I loved Britannia. So Fluttermind has been making games in the games industry since 1985, worked on the original Dungeon Keeper and co-founded the Fable franchise. So, you may have played their work before. Now, some people, also to take a post from their Mastodon, some people are really freaked out by the whole it's free thing. There's no trick. This is a free game. There is nothing weird going on here. This is simply a free game that you can download. Don't worry about looking for microtransactions, which is legitimately what I did for the first 30 minutes. I was like, all right, when are you going to ask me for money, video game? It didn't do it. So, that's fun. Now, let's talk a little bit about the game itself. So we're in the overworld right now, and I've just cleared the tutorial zone, which I'm going to jump back into. The tutorial zone is kind of your home. This is where you start off, and as you can see, it just saved the checkpoint. Initially, you are given a bunch of tutorial pop-ups, which are quite good and encompassing and cover quite a lot of stuff. And you wake up in this bedroom right here. When you wake up, the game informs you of some basic mechanics, such as being able to leave and exit places, pick stuff up, access your inventory by hitting I. The game is largely keyboard-driven, but does also have mouse control. The mouse control is pretty good for the movement. You click and hold to move to a location, and if you let go, your character stops moving. So if you need to have direct control, you can go that way, or you can move with arrow keys or with WASD. There is no diagonal movement, so numpad isn't super useful. Now, initially, there's a whole lot of stuff in these bedrooms, and you're tasked with finding a key, which eventually ends up being in this room right here. Via the notes screen, we find this note, the yellow shed note, and we found the note, and then we have to find the Serpent's Eye, which is this little stone thing. Now, if I go to my inventory, you can see that I've already found it, but we're going to run back through that dungeon so I can kind of explain to you the way the game's mechanics work. Now, pretty simple keyboard controls here. If you hit escape, you can get your options screen. And then in your options screen, you can turn on the CRT effect, which is on by default, but I have off because I'm not generally a fan of that sort of thing. Full screen on or off, and that's it. And then there's a help screen. Now the help screen gives you your controls, which is basically what you'd want. It's pretty simple. Also H just to open the help screen. 1 through 10 is shortcuts to different items, so that's what you see at the bottom left there. Exchange, so that'll allow you to swap with a friendly creature if you need to swap spots. Q to turn on sneak. F to turn on friendly fire allows you to hurt allies, which I haven't seen a reason to use that yet. That might happen at some point. Tab allows you to select targets, so if you're in a ranged attack, which is the next button up there, which is the ranged attack, or you do have ammunition, which are either rocks or arrows. I haven't found anything aside from that so far, just rocks and arrows. Spacebar allows you to wait a turn. Enter allows you to interact with something. Cursors, of course, does cursor things, and then escape gives you this bar, and then, of course, to open up the help screen. So it's a pretty simple control scheme all in all. The UI looks like a lot initially, but very quickly kind of becomes more approachable the more time you spend with the game. I recommend playing the game in full screen. I was playing in windowed mode and it got a little bit tiny. But we're going to work our way up to this dungeon. Like I said, you do need to find a key to get through this gate. And shoutouts to Mr. Kibbles. You hated everyone. We loved you regardless. Probably my favorite little thing so far. This game is steeped in world building. Every single item and thing that you'll find is going to have some sort of dialogue on it. Now, as you can see, I've already cleared this dungeon, but there are going to be some enemies still around in here that I can probably bonk with a stick, just to show you a little bit of an example of the combat. So we have bump combat like this, pretty simple, and then you can pick up scraps of chitin from them. These little skeletons around here have enemies that spawn in them, but I think what we're actually going to do is just move on to like the next dungeon. So this kind of starter dungeon teaches you a few things. It teaches you that some enemies will be out of place. You'll get some harder enemies occasionally. It teaches you basically what to do when you're low health. It gives you a whole bunch of supplies. As you can see in here, I have a whole bunch of stuff sitting in here. I've got some food, and as you can see, I do have a food bar over there, which is dropping. We've got moldy bread. We've got moldy fruit. We've got various things. And then, of course, if I hit 1 to 10, I can assign a hotkey. So let's say I would like a large potion of healing on number 1. Done. Let's say that we would like a, I don't know, something that gives me food. Let's go with bright fruit on 2. Does it not let me put that on there? There, bright fruit on 2. And, oops. Then once we're in like here, if we hit left and right instead of going up and down, we can actually tab through the different specific portions of the inventory, because there is an all option up top here. And then over there, if I scroll up to my gear, over on the left, you can see my character's stats. So currently, we do have 390 out of 400 health. We're carrying 15 out of 40. Our movement speed is 114, and our energy is 100. Also next to the health, there is that little shield icon. That is a automatically regenerating shield. So you'll take a little bit of damage, and you can only heal your health specifically while it's sleeping or taking potions. However, the little shield up top, that regenerates. So the way the combat ends up working out in dungeons, so I'll smack up against a bunch of enemies and then back off and wait for your shields to heal, or just try and outrun things, because I've been quite successful at being able to outrun stuff. So I do have 3 shots with my ranged attack, and once we defeat these enemies, we can leave, or I can simply run to the edge of the map as it tells you up here. So these are little randomly generated encounters, or just little random encounters, right? So just a couple enemies, they attack you. So they may be weaker than you, they may be stronger than you. Generally, in my experience, they're weaker, so I'm gonna let him walk up to me so I can do the roguelike thing. Now, I've seen some reviews saying that this game would actually be a really good introduction for a lot of roguelikes. Now, I think I get like this weird psychedelic trip if I hit this thing. Just simply because the game does a pretty good job of teaching you the lingo that you would want from a game to get somebody into roguelikes, even if they're not necessarily into the more hardcore side of things. Because these grid-based RPGs, they share a lot of DNA with proper roguelikes. And as an enthusiast of proper roguelikes, my main impression of this game so far has been, man, it's very easy. But that's not the game's fault. It's not a game that's designed to horribly murder you automatically. I mean, it will, certainly, but it is not designed to hurt you. So there's hunting in this. So footprints on the overworld of the map show the position of prey whose pelt or meat is valuable. So I can press enter, and then boom, there's the prey. So I can chase this animal and then use this to sell to shopkeepers. Usually the creatures that you'll hunt will be a little bit on the stronger side. As you can see, my shield is dropping. We were able to kill it. Scraps of hide, and I found some boar meat. Now we're able to leave the map. If I was worried about my health, I would have backed off and then waited a little bit. So as you can see up here, wet status. Being wet is not inherently dangerous. It makes it harder for you to catch fire. However, it is much easier to gain rotting status, and it will wear off while you are wet. By that, they mean my food. When you get wet in this game, it can actually put out fires on your body. I had fires on I got set on fire earlier on, and I was able to make that go away. Amber fog, you've entered a toxic mist known as the amber. The amber will slowly drive you mad and may harbor other horrors. A lamp filled with amberbane oil will dispel these evil mists, essentially giving you a psychedelic trip, and the whole UI starts flashing multiple colors. Keep in mind as well, if you are playing this if you have photosensitivity issues or seizures from bright colors, you may want to exercise caution while playing this game. I haven't hit anything like that just yet, but that may begin happening. All right, so we're going to move down. This guy's got like a ranged attack. The Wilding Bowman hits you with a crossbow for 48 damage, which is quite a bit of damage, but he'll have to reload. So we can hit him in a melee, which we have the advantage here, because we can hit way more frequently. I kind of wish he dropped, like, bolts or something. Some ammo would be nice. My armor's broken now, so we are taking damage, but I can wait until my shield regenerates. I can also kill some other things, but I think we'll just move. Let's head north until we find a dungeon. There's several dungeons scattered around the early game on the world. All right, that's a lot of bats. I'm just gonna go this way, I think. We're gonna move north. Cross here. Also got the wild fog. Once again, I'm just going to walk past these dudes. I think actually we should start retreating because I don't want to be stuck in the amber. There's another dungeon up to the other direction. The one that I was heading for is a little further off, so let's see if we can go the other way. If I take the slow route, we'll be a little bit safer. There's some hunting I could do around here. And we found ourselves a little town, from what I can tell. Let's hit this ranged guy. My shield is broken. It's okay, my resolve isn't. Wow, I actually got pushed out, that's funny. Alright. Some stuff going on up here. I missed this my first time through. So the overworld is static and stays similar, and there are pre-designed areas around for you. What in the world are those? Can I? Oh wow, I can, okay. I can throw stuff through there. I'm not doing a ton of damage to them. They may just like immediately kill me, but that could be a bit of fun too. Okay, yeah, these are strong. They're doing 100 damage to me. Also, I'm not sure how ranged they are, or if they have any ranged. See if I can just back away. There we go. Uh-oh. I made a huge mistake. Well, now you get to see me die. I love the way the UI kind of shows your status and situation, just by like changing colors and whatnot, going red, changing colors based on the region you're in, the current difficulty, how much you're tripping on this amber. All of that stuff is very interesting. Okay, let's go back down to that other dungeon that I was referring to. See, save checkpoint. Bunch of beetles. These guys are pretty weak. We can fight these. Let's see if they'll come to me. Now, I know that there's shopkeepers and such. I haven't encountered too much of that yet. Most of my time spent playing this has been a lot of just kind of exploring and discovering different interesting worlds or portions of the world. Northeast is the Euro Farm, southeast is the Moon upon Thoth, and east is Winter Shawl. So if I check my notes, I need to find the stone and then find others who recognize it. And find those who recognize its sign. So we got a bunch of these jester dudes here. Let's see if I can fight this guy. Oh, I may just die like immediately to these guys. Hold on, let's just jump down here. And let's drink this. Oh, I would have died there if I hadn't drank that. See if he kills me. He may. Got him. A little bit sketchy. Alright, so we're gonna move. Let's see if I can set up camp. I think that works on the overworld. This cannot be used on the overworld map. Okay, so let's jump down. I require 10 kindling to complete this. You have 5. Well, and I wanted to camp. All right, onwards then. Uh-oh. Found some wild animals. Moving down. I know that there's a dungeon coming up here, so let's see if we can get into that. Crossing many bridges. Made it out of the amber. An angry lion-looking thing here. Finding kindling. There's kindling in a neighboring area. Once you find a precise location, hit down. So there's kindling here. Let's see if we can find kindling to help us camp. There, we found some kindling. Question is, how much? Okay, so we have 6 kindling now. Is there more kindling here, or is it just that? I guess for kindling, we have to skim around on the edges of the forests. Oh, there's some kindling. So we can hit down. Find some more, because I need 10 kindling to make a camp. And also to find another dungeon. You'd think that you'd just, like, punch the crap out of a tree, you know? We learned this in Minecraft. But no, I need kindling so I can heal, because I need to sleep. Let's just keep moving. Stumbling through this weird psychedelic universe. Yeah, you know, honestly, if somebody told me a couple of months ago, Blind, you're going to be playing a psychedelic successor to Ultima 4, I would have been like, yeah, that sounds like a video game that would come out in the current year. Because genuinely, it's like, on one hand, I would almost call a game like this a nostalgia trip. Couldn't even find it. Can I even fight you? Yeah, I can. Have to be a little careful. See if I can sneak away from these guys. Uh-oh. Let's just dodge out of the way. Being fast is very helpful in games like this. Alright, there's herbs there, but I haven't picked it up. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yes, leave this area. Let's dive down to here. Wait, hey. Bunch of dudes hiding here. See if I can sneak. Which slows me down, but maybe gives me the opportunity to not die. So many random dudes around. And I haven't found any dungeons. All right, I'm going to travel back home, and I will check back in with you once I've slept and healed. All right, so I've slept and I've healed, and I've gone slightly south, following the big geysers of light. And I found this here, so we're going to check out this little cave up here on the surface of the overworld. So now we are in day 3 of the Mordant Moon, and we are inside of a dungeon now. So if I hit M, you can actually see the dungeon layout. These are the lost tunnels. Who are you? Okay, well, you are not friendly, so I'm going to attack you. You seem to be one of those thieves that show up in many games like this, where they steal your items and then run off. Let's see if I can wait for you to come to me. Yeah, I can catch you. You bloody well bet I can. And he seems to be dropping health potions. Watch this guy be like a friendly character, and I'm gonna feel bad after killing him. But, you know, it's worth it for the potions of healing. There we go. He teleports out, I get it. But I don't have to feel bad about killing him. All right, so we've got, like, kind of this weird fire glow thing. I'm gonna back up. This seems not friendly. Okay. Be a little careful with all this fire here. There's this white water, lava stuff is burning bright. Let you walk over to me. Smack these little zombies. These forgottens or whatever they are. All right, getting some hits in. We got a moldy mushroom pie, delicious. At least no matter how bad the dungeons are, they're still cooking. Okay, so now I want to go and wait. Specifically, I want to wait for my shield to heal back up. So there are certain things that will cause noise, like that. You see, I hit that and it goes jingle. If I make too much noise, it will attract enemies. And the game actually has a yelling mechanic. If you shout at things and it's inside that region, they will come to you. So if you are in an opportune strategic position, might not be a bad idea. Let's throw some rocks at you. There you go. My rock back. And we get to heal. Let's keep moving. This one's a little bit more of a challenge than that initial set of enemies we run into. Those slimes can be pretty painful. So I've figured out that, like, you can sometimes close doors, but I haven't actually figured out how I've done it. Okay, so this button unlocks something and probably locks something else. I think that must be lava, the white water there. Okay, so this little guy did 17 damage. I can kill him pretty quickly. There we go. Okay, so there is fire on this. Maybe. Okay, I am on fire. That's not good. But there is a chest at the end here. I'm going to drink a heat potion, or a healing potion, which at the very least will heal me. And even though I'm still on fire and taking damage, it'll. Okay, I found an amulet. What's Norman's amulet? Norman's amulet. A gray cube of stone fashioned from part of Norman's hand. You feel like your strikes are truer while wearing the device. Whether this improvement is magical or psychological is unknown, but the results are very real. All right, well, it gives us some bonuses, so we will equip that. Fire's out, which is good. We can see where the fire baubles are going. There we go. We were able to get out pretty safely. Now, I would have been able to come over here and just, like, tap the water here to make myself wet, to make the fire go away if I was still on fire, but let's let this weird ball come over to me. A worm pod. Ugh. Disgusting. All right, so I've got a laddie over here in prison and a forgotten coming to me. Let's throw a rock at it. Hit it. Take it out in 2 shots. We need a jeweled wire key. Did I not have a jeweled wire key? I would swear that I did. Uh-oh, this is kind of a lot of damage. Probably will miss. The bugs are quite weak. This person, on the other hand, quite strong. So it's gonna hurt me. I think I'm going to drink my healing potion and then just fight. Okay, so you heal too. That's interesting. I will back up then. Scary enemy, that. However, you can die. There we go. Just 2 hits on you. Move up here and to the right. Okay, so you're the kind of big bad of this here dungeon then, I suppose. I guess what we need to do is we need to catch you out when you're far away from safety. I'm going to drink my healing potion. Kind of want to just fight it until I die. Which I did. Because I was like, maybe the numbers will come out in my favor, but the scarab decided to kill me. So that's that little dungeon here, and we have this little town over here on the left. Let's go over to this town. Wander around a little bit. So, we've got Genevieve, who's right here, who I can speak with. Towns are considered safe havens, so the use of weapons is prohibited. However, if you really want to fight, you can use F and turn on friendly fire. Hey, stranger. I'm Genevieve. Welcome to Moon upon Thos. Now, the interesting thing about this is welcome to Moon upon Thos. No reply. Hello. Silence. Me. Moon upon Thos. Okay, there we go. We have this is the city of Balance. Okay. Balance is everything. Without balance, there is chaos. That's the state of that Caldera was in before the 5 moons appeared. I've no desire to return to that. Darkness, madness, despair. No thank you. Moons. You know, we have 1 moon per god. Everybody knows that. Oh, you're dreamless. Now I understand. We've got a lot of you through here. You've come to petition, of course. Well, the old Archon is getting on a bit. Good for you. You should talk to the priests about that. They are in the street of the gods. It's a little way to the east. Watch out, though. The priests will talk your ear off. And then that's it for that conversation. So I think this might be where I leave this video off. I think I've probably given you, at the very least, a decent idea of what to expect from Moonring. Admittedly, still very early game. I showed you several enemy encounters, some dungeons. Of course, there's the mythic fog off in the distance, which makes things a little strange and psychedelic. And of course, then these towns with people you can speak with, and different locations to explore, quest lines, and a whole world of lore to uncover. I would go a little deeper, but because the game is genuinely free, I feel like everything I do beyond this point is just going to be spoilers. So frankly, if this game interests you, it's on Steam. It's free. There is no catch. It's just free. So thank you, Fluttermind, for making this strange game, and I look forward to playing it a little bit more, either on my own time or on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BLINDIRL. And of course, if you'd like to see VODs of me playing games live, you can go to my Extras channel. That's Blind Extras. And if you want to just see more Dwarf Fortress or weird games you maybe haven't heard of, check out this YouTube channel. There's a ton of that here. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one.